Have you ever felt limited by the spells in your D&D arsenal? Like, you know each spell's power individually.
Right.
But wonder if there's a way to unlock something truly game-changing.
I know that feeling well.
Yeah.
It's like you're aware of each spell's individual potential,
Yeah.
but yearning for that spark of inspiration to unlock something truly game-changing.
Well, just the other week, my party was facing this massive hill giant.
Ah.
And we were getting absolutely clobbered.
Oh, no.
He was shrugging off our attacks like they were mosquito bites.
Wow.
Then our druid, in a moment of pure genius, cast plant growth all around the giant's feet.
I see where this is going.
Yeah.
Turning the environment against the giant.
Exactly. The giant was suddenly wading through this dense, thorny undergrowth. Every step he took slowed him down.
Right.
And then, bam! Our ranger unleashed a light and arrow right at his feet.
Nice.
The spell arcstated through the wet foliage, electrifying the entire area.
Wow.
The giant went down hard.
What a combo. It's not just about the spells themselves.
Right.
It's about how they interact with each other and the environment to create something truly devastating.
It was a total game changer.
I bet.
And it got me thinking about all the other crazy spell combos out there.
Oh, yeah.
Just waiting to be discovered.
Definitely.
That's why we're diving deep into the world of D&D spell synergy today.
Awesome.
Drawing insights from a fantastic article over at LitRPG Reads by Amir Barakat, aka Bardic Lore.
Spell synergy is like a secret language of magic.
Ooh, I like that.
It's about understanding that each spell is more than just a single effect.
Okay.
It's a component that can be combined with others to create chain reactions and unexpected outcomes.
Okay, so let's jump into some specific examples from the article.
Sounds good.
And for our listeners, especially those who love those aha moments, we've picked out some combos
I love it.
that will really get your creative juices flowing.
Let's start with a classic combo for stealthy characters. Okay.
Darkness paired with Devil's Sight.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine your warlock is infiltrating an enemy camp at night.
Okay.
They cast darkness, shrouding the area in magical gloom.
Spooky.
Now, most creatures are stumbling around blind.
Right.
But your warlock, thanks to Devil's Sight, can see perfectly through the darkness.
It's like having night vision goggles.
Exactly.
While everyone else is fumbling in the dark. Talk about a tactical advantage.
They become a phantom.
Wow.
Moving unseen, striking from the shadows.
I like it.
It's not just about invisibility.
Right.
It's about creating a situation where your enemies are disoriented and vulnerable.
Okay, that's a great example of turning the environment into a weapon.
Definitely.
But let's talk about raw destructive power.
Okay.
What's a combo that just screams ultimate damage?
Then you have to consider the deadly synergy of Hold Person followed by Disintegrate.
Oh.
Think about it.
Okay.
Hold Person completely paralyzes a humanoid target.
Right. And a paralyzed creature automatically fails dexterity saving throws.
Uh-huh.
And Disintegrate requires a dexterity saving throw to avoid being, well, disintegrated.
So you're essentially setting up a guaranteed annihilation.
Exactly. It's a brutal combo, especially against a boss or a powerful enemy who might normally have a chance to resist.
Here?
But when they're held, they're utterly helpless against Disintegrate's destructive energy.
Wow.
It's a spellcaster's dream.
Yeah.
Turning a formidable foe into a pile of dust.
Oh my gosh.
In a single decisive action.
Now, I love those big flashy combos.
Yeah.
But what about something a bit more subtle? Something that uses the environment to control the battlefield?
Then you'll appreciate the strategic brilliance of spike growth, combined with thorn whip.
Ooh.
Picture this.
Okay.
A battlefield littered with painful razor-sharp spikes.
Ouch.
That's spike growth.
Okay.
Now imagine your druid using thorn whip to pull an enemy directly into those spikes.
Ouch, that's going to make them think twice about charging into melee.
It's a fantastic way to control enemy movement,
Uh-huh.
especially in areas like dense forests or narrow corridors,
Okay.
where there's limited space to maneuver.
Right.
It's all about turning the terrain into a weapon
Yeah.
and dictating the terms of engagement.
So we've got stealth,
Yeah.
destruction, and battlefield control.
Right.
What about something a little more extravagant?
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
a combo that really showcases the visual spectacle of magic.
Then we have to talk about the dazzling combination of animate objects with Crusader's Mantle.
Oh, cool.
Close your eyes
Okay.
and imagine this.
Right.
A swarm of enchanted objects.
Ooh.
Swords, shields, even furniture.
Wow.
Springing to life with a radiant glow.
Okay.
All attacking your enemies at once.
That sounds incredible. I could already picture it.
Yeah.
It's not just about the damage.
Right?
It's about the sheer spectacle of it all.
Exactly. Animate objects turns mundane items into a potent force. And Crusader's Mantle bathes those objects in holy energy, adding an extra layer of radiant damage to their attacks.
So cool.
It's overwhelming for your enemies.
Yeah.
And for your party, it's a moment of pure, awe-inspiring magic.
It's like a scene straight out of a fantasy epic.
Yes.
And it reminds me of something you mentioned earlier.
Oh.
How these combos can be more than just tactical maneuvers.
Right.
They can be narratively powerful as well.
Absolutely. Imagine animating objects that have special significance to your character or the campaign's story.
Yeah.
It adds a layer of depth and meaning to the fight.
Speaking of narrative significance, remember that epic moment I described earlier with the plant growth and lightning arrow?
Yes.
Well, that wasn't just a random combo.
Oh.
It played perfectly into the story we were telling.
Tell me more. I'm always fascinated by how players weave spell combinations into their narratives.
The giant we were facing had been terrorizing this small village, and they were desperate for a hero to defeat him.
I see.
So when our druid used the surrounding forest to bring him down, it was like a symbolic victory.
I like that.
Showing that even the smallest creatures could overcome a seemingly insurmountable foe.
Yeah.
With a little ingenuity and teamwork.
I love how that combo became more than just a tactical maneuver.
Yeah.
It became a key moment in the story.
Yeah.
Reinforcing the themes of hope and resilience.
Exactly. It's those moments that make D&D truly special.
And that's just the beginning.
Really?
We've only scratched the surface of what's possible with spell synergy.
Wow.
There are countless combinations out there just waiting to be discovered.
I can't wait to hear more.
You know, it's fascinating how spell synergy can turn even seemingly simple spells into something truly remarkable.
Yeah.
Take Grease and Fog Cloud, for instance.
Those don't exactly scream deadly combo at first glance.
Right.
What's the secret sauce here?
It's all about creating chaos.
Okay.
And disruption. Imagine you're facing a group of heavily armored warriors.
Okay.
Your party's wizard casts grease on the ground, creating a slippery, treacherous surface.
Oh, yeah?
Then they follow up with Fog Cloud,
okay,
obscuring everyone's vision.
So you've got these heavily armored warriors slipping and sliding around blindly, unable to see their targets or even keep your footing.
Right.
That's a recipe for disaster for them and a golden opportunity for your party.
Exactly. Your rogues can take advantage of the confusion to flank the enemy.
Okay.
Your ranged attackers can pick off targets with impunity.
Right.
And your spellcasters can unleash area of effect spells without fear of friendly fire.
It's a brilliant example of how a little bit of battlefield control can completely turn the tide of battle.
It really can.
So it reminds me of another combo that uses the environment to create a layered defense.
Oh.
Plant growth paired with spike growth.
Ah, yes. A classic combination for turning any terrain into a hazardous maze.
I like...
Imagine your druid is defending a narrow passageway.
Okay.
They cast plant growth, creating a thick tangle of thorny vines and undergrowth that slows down any approaching enemies.
Okay.
Then, for good measure,
they
add spike growth to the mix, ensuring that anyone foolish enough to push through the dense foliage will be met with a painful surprise.
It's like a natural fortress bristling with thorns and spikes.
Exactly.
It's not about blocking enemies entirely, but about channeling their movement.
Yes.
Slowing them down. And making them pay a price for every step they take.
Exactly. It forces the enemy to make a choice. Risk getting shredded by the spikes or find another route.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, you're dictating the terms of engagement.
Okay.
And buying your party valuable time to prepare their defenses or launch a counterattack.
So we've talked a lot about combos that deal damage or control the battlefield.
Yes.
But what about those pairings that are all about utility? Those spells that solve problems in unexpected ways.
Ah, utility combos. Those are some of my favorites.
Really?
They often involve thinking outside the box. And using spells in ways that might not be immediately obvious.
Do you have any examples that spring to mind?
Well, consider the unorthodox pairing of Minor Illusion and Silent Image.
Ooh, interesting.
At first glance, these might seem like simple cantrips, but when used together, they can create incredibly convincing illusions.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
How do you take two seemingly basic illusion spells
Right.
and turn them into something more potent.
It's all about layering and sensory detail.
Okay.
Let's say you want to create the illusion of a fearsome guardian protecting a treasure chest.
Okay.
You could use silent image to project a visual representation of a hulking monstrosity, complete with glowing eyes and razor-sharp claws.
All right.
But to truly sell the illusion, you need more than just visuals.
So that's where minor illusion comes in.
Okay, you could use minor illusion to create the sound of the creature's growls and snarls.
Okay.
Or the clattering of chains as it shifts its weight.
Yeah.
You could even create the illusion of a foul, sulfurous odor emanating from its maw.
So you're essentially taking a visual illusion and adding layers of auditory and olfactory detail.
Yes.
Creating a truly immersive and convincing experience.
Exactly.
That will make even the most skeptical adventurer think twice.
Exactly. It's about understanding that illusions are most effective when they engage multiple senses.
That's a great example of how synergy isn't always about creating something bigger and bolder, but about subtly enhancing and amplifying existing effects.
And speaking of subtle enhancements, let's talk about a combo that's perfect for those who prefer a more strategic, methodical approach to combat.
Okay.
Detect magic, followed by dispel magic.
This sounds like a combo tailor-made for adventurers who love exploring ancient ruins and uncovering hidden secrets.
It's all about identifying and neutralizing magical threats before they can become a problem.
All right.
Imagine your party is exploring a long-forgotten tomb.
Spooky.
Your cleric casts Detect Magic, scanning the area for any lingering magical auras.
Okay.
Suddenly, their eyes light up as they detect a faint, pulsating glow emanating from a seemingly innocuous stone slab.
Sounds like a trap.
Exactly. But instead of blindly triggering the trap, the cleric can use Dispel Magic to carefully neutralize the magical energy.
Wow.
Rendering the trap harmless.
So it's not just about detecting magic. It's about understanding it, analyzing it, and then using that knowledge to safely disarm potentially dangerous situations.
Precisely. It's a combo that rewards careful observation and strategic thinking, allowing you to turn a potential threat into a non-issue.
I love how these combos highlight the importance of being proactive and thinking ahead, rather than just reacting to what's thrown at you.
And that's a key principle of spell synergy. It's about shaping the battlefield to your advantage, controlling the flow of combat, and dictating the terms of engagement.
Speaking of dictating the terms of engagement,
let's
talk about a combo that's perfect for disrupting enemy formations and creating chaos. Haste, followed by Wall of Force.
Yes, a classic combination for dividing and conquering.
I like it.
Imagine your party is facing a large group of enemies. And you need to create an opening for a strategic maneuver. Your wizard casts Haste on the party's fighter, granting them incredible speed and agility. Then, just as the fighter charges into the heart of the enemy ranks, the wizard casts Wall of Force, creating an impenetrable barrier directly in the path of the pursuing enemy.
So you're essentially splitting the enemy force in two.
Exactly.
Isolating a portion of them. While your hasted fighter wreaks havoc on the other side.
Precisely. The enemies are left scrambling to regroup, while your party can focus their attacks on a smaller, more manageable group. It's a brilliant example of using spell synergy to control the flow of battle and create opportunities for tactical advantage.
That's like a magical chess move, where you're thinking several steps ahead and anticipating your opponent's reactions.
And that's what makes spell synergy so much fun.
I know, right?
It's like solving a puzzle. Finding the perfect combination of spells to overcome any obstacle.
It's like you said earlier. It's a secret language of magic.
It is.
And the more you learn about that language, the more creative and powerful you become.
Absolutely. And the beauty of D&D is that there's always more to learn. Always new combos to discover. Always new ways to push the boundaries of what's possible.
It feels like we've only just begun to explore the tip of the iceberg when it comes to spell synergy. But amidst all these combos, there's something I've noticed. So many of these powerful combinations seem to revolve around manipulating movement in some way.
That's a sharp observation. It speaks to a fundamental truth in D&D.
With that?
Positioning and mobility are just as crucial as raw power.
I see what you mean.
Think about it. If you can control where your enemies are,
Yeah.
or where your allies can get to,
Right.
you're already halfway to winning the battle.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider how many spells directly affect movement.
Totally.
We've already talked about Thorn Whip, Plant Growth, Haste, and Wall of Force.
Right.
But there are so many others.
Precisely.
Oh, yeah.
Take Levitate and Featherfall, for instance.
Okay.
They might not seem like an obvious combo,
Right.
but together,
Yeah.
they offer incredible control over vertical spaces.
Okay.
Imagine your party is exploring a dungeon with treacherous chasms and precarious ledges.
Okay.
Your wizard could cast Levitate on themselves or an ally, allowing them to safely navigate the treacherous terrain.
But what happens if their concentration is broken? Or they need to descend quickly?
Right.
That's a long way to fall.
That's where Featherfall comes in.
Okay.
It acts as a safety net,
Right.
ensuring that even if something goes wrong,
Yeah.
your levitating adventurer can descend gracefully
Okay.
without taking any damage.
Cool.
It's like having a magical parachute,
I like it.
always ready to deploy in case of emergency.
It's a combo that turns a potential liability,
Yeah.
falling from a great height,
Right.
into a strategic advantage.
Exactly. It's all about mitigating risk
Yeah.
and maximizing mobility,
Uh-huh.
which are crucial elements of any successful adventuring party.
For sure.
And speaking of mobility,
Yeah.
let's not forget about one of the most versatile movement spells in the game,
Ooh, which one?
Misty Step.
Ah, yes. The teleportation spell that saved countless adventurers from sticky situations.
It really has.
But what makes Misty Step such a prime candidate for synergy?
Its short-range teleportation allows for quick repositioning in combat,
Okay.
escaping grapples or traps,
Right.
or even reaching advantageous positions for flanking maneuvers.
Uh,
But when combined with other spells,
yeah.
it unlocks a whole new level of tactical depth.
Do tell. I'm always eager to hear about creative uses of teleportation.
Imagine this.
Yeah.
Your party's rogue needs to infiltrate a heavily guarded fortress.
Oh, right.
They cast invisibility on themselves, becoming a shadow in the night.
Okay.
Then they use Misty Step to teleport past watchful guards,
Okay.
bypass locked doors,
Ah.
and slip into the heart of the fortress undetected.
Wow.
It's a combination that turns even the most heavily fortified location into a playground for stealth and infiltration.
It's like they become a phantom,
Exactly.
appearing and disappearing at will.
Yeah.
Always one step ahead of their pursuers.
Precisely. It's a combination that embodies the essence of stealth and cunning,
Yeah.
allowing you to outmaneuver and outwit your opponents with magical finesse.
These movement-based combos have me rethinking my entire approach to D&D tactics.
Really?
It's not just about hitting hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's about hitting smart
Right.
and hitting from unexpected angles.
And that's what makes spell synergy so compelling.
Yeah.
It encourages you to think outside the box,
Right.
to see beyond the obvious, and to discover the hidden potential within the spells you already know.
And sometimes that potential lies in the simplest of combinations.
It really does.
Like you mentioned earlier, even cantrips can become powerful tools when used synergistically.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Take Light and Mage Hand, for example.
Yep.
On their own, they're fairly basic spells,
Right.
but together,
Yeah.
they can be surprisingly effective,
Cool.
especially in exploration and problem-solving scenarios.
I can already see the gears turning.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of situation would call for this unlikely pairing?
Imagine your party is exploring a dark, twisting cavern. Instead of relying on torches or lanterns,
Right.
which can be cumbersome and attract unwanted attention,
Yeah.
your wizard could cast light on a small pebble.
Oh.
Then using Mage Hand,
Huh?
they could levitate the glowing pebble,
Oh, yeah.
sending it ahead to scout out the path,
Right.
illuminating hidden alcoves,
Yeah.
or even distracting enemies.
It's like having a magical drone,
Yeah.
a reconnaissance tool that's both versatile and discreet,
Right.
and it only takes 2 simple cantrips to achieve.
Precisely. It's a testament to the creativity and ingenuity that D&D encourages in its players.
I like that.
Even the most basic spells can become valuable assets when combined with a little imagination.
This has been an incredible journey into the world of D&D spell synergy.
It really has.
I feel like I've leveled up my understanding of magic tenfold.
Awesome.
And remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There are countless other combos out there,
Oh, yeah.
just waiting to be discovered.
Right.
The real fun begins when you start experimenting.
Absolutely.
Pushing the boundaries. And finding those synergies that resonate with your own playstyle.
It's, like you said earlier,
Yeah.
it's a secret language of magic.
It is.
And once you start speaking that language,
Right.
the possibilities are endless.
A huge thank you to LitRPG Reads and Paul Bello for publishing Amir Barakat's insightful article.
Yeah.
It's been an invaluable guide on this deep dive into the fascinating world of spell synergy.
Couldn't have done it without him.
Yeah.
His insights were a real inspiration for this episode.
And to all our listeners out there,
yes,
we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What are some spell combos you've discovered that have left you feeling like a magical mastermind?
I love it.
Share your favorites in the comments below.
Yeah.
And let's keep this conversation going.
Definitely.
We might even feature some of your most creative combos in a future episode.
Until then, happy adventuring.
Yeah.
And may your spells always synergize in the most spectacular ways possible.
And as always, may your dice rolls be ever in your favor.